And good evening, everyone. It is September 2nd, 2016. We have a mostly clear night. We're in Mercedes, Texas. Temperature in the upper 80s. Along with Jake Berry, I'm Scott Harrison, and we're ready for week 2 of Mercedes Tigers football. Of course, things got off to a little bit of a rocky start last week as the Mercedes Tigers in non-district action. They, of course, are 32-5A. They lost to Cal Allen, and a final score in that game was 20-7. Of course, Cal Allen, one of the better teams in the state, preseason ranked number 8. And this week, the opponent is going to be from McAllen, Texas. It's James Nicky Rowe High School, the Warriors. Their head coach is Bobby Flores. He's been with the school for a number of years and been offensive coordinator since 2007, but this is his first year as head coach and got off to a big start as his team defeated Edinburgh, the Warriors, by the score of 30-14. And, of course, they have a new coach, as we mentioned, Flores. He replaced Paul Reyes, who'd been there for several years. And Flores, a very nice man. We got a chance to talk to him this past week. Enjoyed it. But the big story tonight is the fact that Zach Gomez will not be playing quarterback tonight for the Tigers. And we talked to Roger Adami Jr., the head coach of the Tigers, just a few minutes ago. And we asked for a reason. And he simply said, well, tonight Gomez is unable to make the game, and of course we'll go with that, and we'll have to see what happens with the backup. And of course that is Mark Ledesma. He is a wide receiver. He actually was the leading wide receiver last week for the team, had a long catch of 41 yards. We saw him play quarterback in the scrimmage, so he will be handed the quarterback duties tonight. Some big news, Jake Berry, and obviously we know that Mercedes can score a lot of points, although last week held to just 7, just 128 yards, while Cal Allen had 380 yards of offense. But again, a new week, a different team, and we'll have to see what happens with the new quarterback. Obviously, Rowe, you've seen them for a lot of years, and you've seen them throw the ball a lot in recent years under Coach Reyes. Now he's over as an assistant, I believe, at Rio Grande Valley. But now under their new coach, Flores, I think it's going to be more of a multiple offense.
Yeah, I think what you're going to see tonight is a team that can get out and go. Now, they had Edinburgh first week. Edinburgh's not one of your tougher teams in the Valley this season. Mercedes started with one of the best teams in the state, and they held their own with them 20-7. You know, and at one point, Scott, in the first half, we saw them at 7-7, and they looked like in the second half that they were going to take the lead early. Few miscues, and
they got the ball inside the 1 yard line.
Yes.
It was 7-7, and after a pooch kick that was recovered on the opening kickoff by Mercedes, they marched down to inside the 1, but before you knew it, penalties had them all the way back to the 50-yard line, and from then on, a couple scores by Cal Allen. As a matter of fact, talking to their coach, Coach Phil Danaher, this week about that game, that's Cal Allen's coach, he said he was very disappointed in his special teams. He said on that second half kickoff, he said his receivers ran away from the ball on the pooch kick. Well, we are getting ready for the kickoff. Mercedes is going to be kicking off, and Rowe is going to get the ball. They won the toss and elected to receive. Here is the kickoff, and the ball is going from our right to left, and it will be fielded at about the 15-yard line and taken up to about the 27 where the tackle is made. So Nicky Rowe with the ball 1st and 10 at that location.
And already there's an injury on the field.
Yes,
not a good sign for Mercedes to start the game out like this.
No, an injury on special teams. We'll try to see the number as quick as we can. Of course, Mercedes number is a little difficult to see. They're in their burnt orange uniforms with the black pants, I should say, and the orange stripe down the side, basically orange helmets, and they have the black numerals with the white around them. Meanwhile, Nicky Rowe, they're in their white uniform tops with the green numerals and the green pants, and basically the colors overall for Nicky Rowe are gold and green, though of course they have the white intermixed in the uniforms. And again, coaches are around the injured player checking him out, and as soon as we get a number, we will tell you on that situation. And you hate to see an injury this early, obviously. We were talking about Coach Flores taking over. He's a 1995 graduate of Rowe, and he's coached at the high school for 16 years. He's coached both boys and girls basketball. He was the boys track and field head coach, although he won't do that anymore. And also, again, we mentioned he was the offensive coordinator for 8 years. His younger brother, Ryan, is the boys basketball coach at McAllen High, and his father coached basketball at a number of schools, including Memorial, Rowe, PSJA, and La Feria. And the injured player is being taken off the field right now. And as soon as we can see the number, we will tell you who it is. Again, being helped off by a couple trainers, putting pressure on both legs, but again, being helped off the field. And it will be 1st and 10 right now.
It looks like it's number 11, David Govelan.
All right. And 1st and 10 right now for the Nicky Rowe Warriors. Keeping the ball will be their quarterback, Jesus Sanchez. And he will not get much yardage on that play at all. As a matter of fact, it looks like he lost a few yards on that play. So coming up is going to be 2nd down and 14, officially a loss of 4 on the play. So bad news on special teams with the injury, but good news early on defense. Loss of 4 on the first play of the game. Again, out of the shotgun, we have Sanchez motion over to the left side, and the pass will go over to the left side, and the runner will be dropped at the 30, a short gain on the play.
Yeah, it was a bubble screen right there to the top receiver. We'll have to look and see who that was again, but
Freddie Ayala was the receiver.
And it was a great bubble screen, but better defense right there, able to cut him down at the original line of scrimmage.
Gain of officially 4 on the play, 3rd and 9 from the 30. Sanchez feeling pressure, gets the ball off, and pass is incomplete. Pass was intended for number 32. That is their star running back, and that's Rodel Garcia. We'll talk more about him as the night goes on. A very good running back. Incomplete pass, and it makes it 4th and 9 in the 30. Jesus Sanchez also will do the punting for the team, does a little bit of everything out there.
And what you're going to see is the pooch kicks. You're going to see the quarterback go back there, and it provides a triple threat. He can run, he can throw, and he can also kick.
So pooches it off from about the 20-yard line, and a ball will hit at about the 38, and will be downed at about the 47-yard line by Nicky Rowe.
And that's not the kind of punt. Special teams right now, Mercedes is getting hurt, and Nicky Rowe is getting about a net, 20 yards there on that kick? So, not the kind of special teams performances you want to have in week 2. But Nicky Rowe's defense played well last week. Couple miscues by Edinburgh, and Nicky Rowe was able to capitalize.
And we see Mercedes going from our right to left to begin the first quarter. 10:40 remaining, no score. And it is going to be a handoff right again. And it's going to be Ledesma getting it, Fabian Ledesma. And gets about 2 yards on the carry. So it'll be about 2nd down and, we'll call it no gain, where they mark it 2nd down and 10. So both defenses come out strong early.
Yeah, you're going to see that. Early in the season, defenses are always going to be a little bit more in tune than the offenses. Mercedes' offense, though, when they turn it on, they can really fly.
All right, clock rolling down to about 10 minutes here in the first quarter. Again, spread offense. We have motion left to right. Now back lines up in the slot on the right side. It is going to be a handoff, running left this time, and again getting very little yardage up to about the 45-yard line. And once again, Ledesma. 3rd and 11 coming up. So actually loses 1 on the play. And tackle made by Isaac Mata, a defensive end, a junior for Nicky Rowe. 3rd and 11 at the 45-yard line. Mercedes has the ball in their own territory. Their opening possession of the game. Again, only scored 1 touchdown so far this season, and that was a 10-yard reception last week by Joe Garcia. Back to pass out of the gun is Mark Ledesma, and Mark's pass is incomplete around the 25-yard line. And that time the pass was intended for Matthew Ledesma, his brother, and the pass was overthrown on the left sideline, near sideline to us. So it'll be 4th and 11. Ledesma does punt the ball. We're talking about Mark, who's starting a quarterback tonight for Zach Gomez, who will not play tonight, is out for this game. And Mark Pooch kicks the ball, and it's going to hit about the 20-yard line, rolls inside the 20, and it is going to be down near the 16. So nice roll, about 5 to 10 yards for Ledesma on that kick.
Yeah, you're talking about getting it right inside the 20, which is where everybody wants. His ball gets to roll a little bit more, but I think you have to be impressed right now with the defenses. I think they're both playing well. They're both stymieing the run. They're really taking away that run, and Nicky Rowe would try to go with 2 quick bubble screens, or a screen and a bubble screen, and Mercedes was able to sniff it out.
1st and 10, ball at the 16-yard line of Rowe, and they will hand the ball off, and there will be about a 5-yard gain on that play.
Number 14, your ball carrier picking up 2 yards, 2nd down, 2nd and 8.
And on that play, looks like it was Hector Ramirez. They'll say officially gain of 2 on the play. Ball at the 18-yard line. And among those in on the tackle on that play was David Lopez. So 2nd and 8 at the 18-yard line. And again, the quarterback looks like he'll keep the ball.
Nice play by the Tiger defense.
And the defense sniffs it out. Good lateral pursuit. And actually it was handed off.
To Raul
Yeah,
Garcia.
And Garcia, again, very little yardage.
And it's about that number 9 for the Tiger defense.
And so the Tigers defense coming up strong on that play. 3rd and 10. Little or no gain. Ball at the 16. And this time Sanchez, that little bubble screen. And it's going to be a big gain this time. Reception will be taken down to about the 40-yard line. Gain of about 24 yards on that play. And just really putting it up into a second gear was number 88, Freddie Ayala.
Yeah,
Ayala with a big run on that play for about 24 yards.
You have to forgive me. I have double duties tonight. I'm doing the camera and commentating, but I got lost on that play. It was a great play right there by Coach Flores' team.
Gain of 24, 1st and 10 at the 40. A lot of misdirection by Nicky Rowe. We heard they do that. And this time, not much. Try to go off left tackle, not much gain at all on that particular play. Again, Coach Flores, the new coach, said he wants to mix in the pass and the run. Gain of 2 on the carry.
It'll be 2nd down.
It'll be 2nd down at the 42-yard line. Gain of 2 on the play. I believe it was Garcia. Clock running, approaching the 7-minute mark. We have motion left to right. This time pass over on the right side and nothing doing. Dropped in the backfield was Adrian Burnell.
And that was Roger Adame Jr., or the third, excuse me, with the play. I believe it is number 1.
Yes.
The numbers are really hard to see right here.
Yes, they are.
But, you just see them sniff that out right there. He sat on that play. He knew that it was going to go to the inside receiver, and he just blew him up.
So short loss makes it 3rd and 11. Burnell, by the way, had a big week last week. Had 8 catches for 67 yards. Was the leading receiver for Nicky Rowe. Sanchez back to pass. Looks for his receiver, Savage, and it's broken up near the 40-yard line.
Pass intended for number 8 falls incomplete.
Incomplete.
Nice pass defense.
Good.
Number 18.
And the pass was defended on that particular play. Was trying to catch that number. It was Joel Gomez. Gomez back on defense.
Back deep for your Tigers to receive.
Savage trying to make the reception. Savage can also play quarterback. Played a little late in the game last week.
Yeah.
For the Warriors.
So it's going to be 4th and 11 with the incomplete pass. And once again, Nicky Rowe has to punt. Did it on their first possession. Also going to be doing it on their second possession. 6:35 remaining in the first quarter. Mercedes will get the ball for the second time tonight. It is the quarterback, Sanchez, kicking it back to about the 15-yard line. Back will take it about 3 yards on the punt return and is down right there. So Tigers will start around their own 18, 19-yard line.
And I think what we've been waiting for the last 2 weeks is for Mercedes just to find their niche, find their little inspiration. It's sometimes takes a little bit of time for you to really start to gel, and with the change in quarterback right now, it's affecting them a little bit.
Joe Garcia on the return, Vincent Hun on the tackle. One back in the backfield, Ledesma. He gets it. He runs over toward the left side, and he'll get about 6 yards, knocked out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
Great run by Ledesma, able to hit the outside corner right there. Great steal on the inside, opened that up for him, and he was able to capitalize.
Of course, that's Fabian Ledesma.
Yeah, Fabian.
He's related to Matthew and Mark. I believe he's their nephew. So gain of 6 on the play. 2nd down and 4 at the 25-yard line. I have something I want to tell you about the running back situation here in a moment. Motion to the left side. Ball handed off once again to Ledesma, and Ledesma won't get much this time. Runs up the right side, tries to turn, and doesn't get anywhere. Some good lateral pursuit. 3rd and 4
Number
coming up.
22 on the carry once again.
So no gain on that
22
carry.
On the stop for the Warriors defense.
Good lateral pursuit by the Warriors. And I believe they were going to use at running back tonight David Gobian. All right, and he was injured on the opening kickoff.
Yeah,
I think
it was great
use,
seeing him come back.
So that's why they're going. They wanted to really use 2 running backs tonight, but they can't do that right now. We have trips on the left side. One back in the backfield. Back to pass is Mark Ledesma. He feels pressure, and he gets the ball off about 1 yard off the line of scrimmage. Tries to get it down to about the 45-yard line. Pass is incomplete. A lot of pressure that time. So it will be 4th down and 4 to go at the 25-yard line after getting 6 yards on Ledesma's run on 1st down. The next 2 plays get no yardage at all.
Yeah, and they're going to bring the house. You have a new quarterback in, fresh meat as the defense likes to look at it. They're going to come after you. He's had all week to prepare, but it's still not enough when you want to go against a 6A defense that can really get after it.
And, of course, they have a new defensive coordinator this year, and one of the keys is they do want to be more aggressive. We're talking about Nicky Rowe. Punt gets off, and a nice punt by Mark Ledesma. Hits it about the 40, bounces all the way back to about the 22-yard line. So that is where it will be 1st and 10. Ball down back there by Rowe. Arteaga. Did I say it right that time? Arteaga, okay. Said it a little bit wrong last week. We're working at it. We promise, Raul, we'll get it right at least by the 5th game. I'm just kidding. All right, 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line for Nicky Rowe. Early in the game. 4:49 remaining in the 1st quarter. 4 wideouts on the left side. Now 1 in motion to the right. Jesus Sanchez back to pass. And he gets the pass up to about the 38-yard line. 16 yards, and then the back falls forward to about the 44-yard line.
That was Raul Garcia.
Yeah,
again, he's getting some work early in this game.
Mm-hmm. So nice gain on that play.
Good for a Warriors 1st down. 1st and 10, ball at the 44-yard line.
Gain of over 20 yards on that particular play. 1st and 10 at the 43. 3rd possession of the night for Nicky Rowe. No score in the game. This time Sanchez will keep, and he'll be tackled at about the 47-yard line. An ankle tackle. And again, it is Roger Adame III on the initial tackle. Good ankle tackle. And the run is held to 3 yards, so it's going to be 2nd and 7 at the 47-yard line. Sanchez back to pass. This time incomplete pass. Tries to throw it into double coverage, and that won't work. Intended receiver was Adrian Burnell. And 3rd down is coming up. Eric Hinosa among those back on the defense that time. It's going to be 3rd down and 7 at the 47-yard line of Nicky Rowe. Sanchez back to pass, has a receiver open on the left side, and can't get it to him. Good defense on that play. 4th down now. Nice defense.
And that was Arteaga again. He's played well both weeks now. I know it's early in this game, 4 minutes left in the 1st quarter, but you see him out there. You're on an island when you're a cornerback,
That's
and
right.
You've got to really stick with your man right there. He got in between the defender and the ball.
Adrian Burnell.
Yes.
Adrian Burnell, who's had 8 catches last week for Nicky Rowe, so he definitely was a serious weapon for the team last week. Back to receive the ball is Matthew Ledesma. Jesus Sanchez kicks it up, and the ball will be returned to about the 27-yard line approximately. Nice return, as the PA announcer says. So it will be 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Stop by number 20 for the Warriors. That was number 5 doing the punting.
And Carlos Salazar
1st and 10 for your Tigers.
made the stop for Nicky Rowe.
At the 27-yard line.
3:51 remaining, 1st quarter. Again, no score. I believe this is the Tigers' 3rd offensive possession of the night. Trips right. Spread formation, one back in the backfield, and it's handed off to Fabian Ledesma. And Ledesma will get short yardage up the middle, only a gain of about 3.
3-yard gain, second down.
So it's going to be 2nd down and 7 coming up.
But, you know, you'll take those small positive yards right there. You're at 2nd and 7 right now. If you can get something manageable in this down,
31 on the
they'll be able to get that first down that they've been looking for.
And number 52.
Ricardo Alvarez in on the stop, and also Frank Delgado. Frank Delgado, by the way, number 52 linebacker, is the leading tackler last year for Nicky Rowe. This time, pass dropped off on the left side, and the gain will be up to about the 35-yard line, have to get up to about the 37. So it's going to be a gain of 3. 3rd down coming up, about 3 yards to go.
3rd down, 33.
Manageable 3rd down this time.
Very manageable.
So that's good news. And I believe on the catch that time, yes, it was Matthew Ledesma. So give Ledesma about 3 or 4 yards on the reception. 3rd and 3 at the 34. 2:41 remaining opening quarter. Slots, actually trips on the right side. Dropped off a little bubble screen there at the 35, and the ball will be moved up to about the 47-yard line. Nice gain of about 13.
Yeah, great little slip screen right there. Took one away from Nicky Rowe's playbook right there. Running that right under the under, having the blocks already set up for him. He's able to get the first down for Mercedes.
That was number 47 and 42 on this time.
All right. Who was that? Did you see, Jake, who made the catch? I'm
I'll
sorry.
have to look at the replay when I get a chance.
All right. It's 1st and 10 at the 46. Little
Same
pass
play.
up the middle.
2-yard gain by number 22.
2-yard gain. And this time,
Brings up 2nd down.
pass went to Fabian Ledesma. It may have gone to Ledesma the last time, too. I'm not sure, though.
99, 31.
So it's going to be 2nd down and 8 at the 40. And again, the numbers are a little difficult to see, the home numbers for the Tigers, and we apologize sometimes if we're not able to immediately give you the person who gets the reception or makes the tackle. Again, Ledesma quarterbacking tonight, and we'll give the ball off. Penalty.
Number 22.
It is
showing some nice moves.
Ledesma,
Flags on the field.
Fabian Ledesma, gets inside Nicky Rowe territory.
But they're going to back this one
Yeah.
up. It's going to be
Got
a
it.
hold.
Hold, okay, got about 10 on the run.
Actually, we'll have to see right here.
Okay.
Yeah, he's telling Coach Adame, he's pleading with him. It was a hold. Looks like he dragged him down.
All right. So it would have been close to a 1st down, I believe, had the run stood. The run stood. Now, we were talking about some of these running backs.
77. Offense.
Okay, the offense
2nd down.
got the penalty, and this time it was against number 77, Daniel Melendez. Offensive lineman has struggled with some injuries as of late, but one of the top players, don't be fooled by that penalty, still one of the better linemen for the Mercedes Tigers. 2nd down and 18, ball at the 38-yard line. Trips left. Ball will be dropped off near the 40-yard line on the right side in the flat
Nice throw
by
and
Ledesma,
catch.
Mark
Picking up
Ledesma.
5 yards. Brings up 3rd down.
You know, and regardless of that penalty, you starting to see Mercedes find a little bit of
On the stop for the Warriors, number 20.
of their offense right now. They seem to be moving the ball a little bit.
Pick up a 5 on the play, 3rd down and 13. I believe it was Joe Garcia that may have got that pass. 3rd and 13 at the 43-yard line. A minute left here in the 1st quarter. Ball dropped off, screen on the left side this time, and the ball will be taken back to about the original yard of scrimmage, original line of scrimmage.
Brings up 4th down, 4th and 9.
4th and 9 coming up.
Number 7 for the Warriors defense.
On the stop.
Update for you, Scott. We've got a tied ball game in Edcal Chelsea as Edcal Chelsea is hosting Vela. Vela scored early. Edcal Chelsea scores on a 16-yard passing TD from Aguinaga.
All right. Punt coming up. Mark Ledesma hits it. Been doing a nice job tonight.
We might get all district with those kind of punts.
Yeah. And I believe on the previous pass reception, It was to his brother, Matthew Ledesma. So 1st and 10. Nicky Rowe will have the ball with 16 seconds remaining here in the opening quarter. 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line for Rowe. They'll be moving toward our left, right to left here in the first quarter. Maybe the final play of the opening quarter. Jesus Sanchez passes it up the middle. Receiver spins away from one tackler at about the 25. Will be knocked out of bounds finally at about midfield.
And teammate 31 making the play.
And it looks like Gomez knocked the receiver out. Looked like it was Hector Ramirez on the reception.
Yeah, a great play. It looked like they were going to go to the running back in the flat, and they go to the inside receiver, and it's just a little slip screen, and he goes crazy on that one.
Gain of 23 on the play. 1st and 10 at midfield. 9 seconds remaining. Motion to the right side. Handoff up the middle. Not much at all. Maybe a gain of a yard. And that will be the final play of the opening quarter. 2nd and 9. Raul Garcia. No gain on that play. 2nd down and 10 at midfield. And that is the end of the opening quarter of play. No score right now between Nicky Rowe and the Mercedes Tigers here in Mercedes. Now, Garcia, we were talking about him being a pretty good back. You've been involved in track a little bit. You've been involved in all sports. He has a 40-yard dash time of about 4.7 seconds. He's a 170-pounder, Garcia. That's pretty good.
Yeah, not bad.
And keep in mind, the offense has changed a lot this year. Last year, he was the 2nd leading rusher, and he just had 25 carries for 97 yards because they ran the ball, threw the ball so much. And the leading rusher last year for Nicky Rowe was Jose Chavez, and he just had 31 carries for 110 yards. So between those two guys, they didn't have about 200 yards between them, the two leading rushers last season. That's for a whole season. And I remember last year, we saw Trevor Spates in a game we did, and he had like 343 yards in one game alone.
First half.
Yeah. All right, we begin the second half. The second quarter, and a short gain on the play. Ball goes up to about the 48-yard line.
On the stop for the Tiger defense, number 4.
Again, short gain. Garcia on the run. It's going to be 3rd down and 8. Pickup of 2 on the play. Again,
3rd and 8.
It was Rowe winning last week over Edinburgh. Mercedes losing to Cal Allen, of course, both non-district games, as well as this one tonight. Garcia now in motion toward the right side, empty backfield. Sanchez will pass the ball and gets it upfield to about the 35-yard line. Gain of about 13 yards on the play, and it's going to be a first down. So Rowe gets a first down. Ball at the 36. Looked like it may have gone out to Garcia. And again, we have just begun the second quarter of play. Trips left. Sanchez will keep the ball, and he fumbles it.
Number 5 on the keeper.
Looks like he recovered his own fumble. Now that's one thing last week. You had to really admire Mercedes. They had no turnovers in the game.
Yeah.
Did not fumble the ball.
Recovered by Rowe.
And Mercedes played a great game. Their defense was on the field a little bit too long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they gave up 380 yards and only had about 128 themselves. So 2nd down and 10, ball at the 36-yard line. Again, Nicky Rowe inside Mercedes territory. No team has really put up a real scoring threat so far tonight. Sanchez will hand it off to Garcia again. Garcia will go down the middle, then head over to the right. Gets down to about the 30-yard line. Picks up about 7 on the play. Still short of the first down by several yards. Going to be 3rd down coming up now. So good crowd out here tonight. Mercedes, as usual, drew a lot of people out. Gomez on the stop. Also Brian Smith for Mercedes on that play. Garcia will try to get the short yardage, gets inside the 30, but a host of Tigers, as the PA announcer says on the stop, and it looks like Garcia will be short of the first down. We'll have to see if there'll be a measurement. It'll be close. It'll be 4th and 1. So gain of 2 on that play for Garcia. Ball at the 27-yard line. Have to get to the 26 for the first down. Rowe moving from our right to the left here in the second quarter. Sanchez keeps the ball, tries to find a receiver, and does around the 8-yard line. Looks to be Mark Hernandez. Hernandez gets it inside the 10. Gain of about 20 on that play down the right sideline. The receiver went that way. And big pass play. David Lopez defending back there, making sure there was no touchdown.
Yeah, a great play. It was a QB bootleg, and he's able to get positive yardage on that pass.
All right, handoff that time to Garcia. Not much doing. There is a whistle. Flag on the play. Garcia wanted to go around the left side. 1st and goal to go at the 7. Of course, remember last week, Mercedes got the ball inside the 1, and they just kept going backwards to about the 50.
And that was off of superb onside kick to start the second half. And it looked like Mercedes was going to take the lead, and then everything went the other way.
Yeah. So I believe it was offsides.
Offsides and a couple holding penalties.
Yeah. No, I mean on this particular last.
Oh, on this one, yes.
Yeah. So the ball is back at the 12-yard line. 1st and goal to go from the 12. 9:35 clock running. Ball handed off. Up the middle, nothing doing. Maybe a loss of 3 on that play. Nothing at all. Number 40 on that play, Nate Hernandez. Hernandez will run the ball some. He's also on the defensive line. So one thing I will say about him, Hernandez was an all defensive lineman, all district I should say, last year, but is running the ball a little bit now, especially in goal line situations. Sanchez tries to get the ball off at the end zone. It looked like he had an open receiver right at the goal line, but he dropped it. So it's going to bring up 3rd down. 3rd and goal. Third and goal from the 14. Receiver was open for a moment, but could not connect. Now we were talking about Hernandez, and again, he had a pretty good week last week. We'll tell you about that in a couple minutes. Sanchez dumps off the ball on the right side to Garcia. Garcia will get inside the 10 to about the 7, but will be short of getting the goal line, obviously. Gets about halfway to the goal, to about the 7, and now it'll be at the 6, so they'll officially call it an 8-yard gain, and it's going to be 4th and goal from the 6-yard line. Jesus Sanchez, also the kicker, and he will be attempting a field goal from about the 13-yard line. And there is a timeout on the field while they talk it over, but I'm sure they will probably go to it. Timeout Mercedes. That is their first timeout of the game. They still have 2 left to use. Now, we had a conversation with the offensive coordinator this week at Rowe. And by the way, we were talking about Hernandez. Last week, he ran the ball 8 times for 43 yards, had an over 5-yard per carry average. And their offensive coordinator, we enjoyed talking to him. He is Sean Tarantola. He's from Washington, but last year he coached at Mission. And his mother, I think, is listening tonight on 956sports.com, so we want to say hello to her. And we'll talk more about this after the extra point attempt comes down. Or actually, the field goal comes down from about the 13-yard line. 23-yard attempt is up and good. So Jesus Sanchez gets the first points of the night on the board, and that is for the visitors, Nicky Rowe. And they come up ahead 3-0. 8:18 remaining here in the second quarter on a 13-yard field goal. And we were talking about Sean Tarantola, who came from Mission, is now the offensive coordinator at Rowe. Comes from Washington State. And he likes a spread offense, likes a one-back set, and likes lots of motion out of that formation. And they want to keep teams thinking. Like to do lots of misdirection, motion, counter plays, and I think, Jake, we've seen all of that tonight so far. So, again, a very diverse offensive attack by visiting Nicky Rowe. And Rowe will get ready to kick off. It'll be Sanchez. Couple backs back to receive the ball around their own 5-yard line. Here in the second quarter, it's Mercedes going from our right to left. Temperature was in the upper 80s at kickoff. A little bit of breeze tonight. For this time of year, a pretty good night to come out and watch some football. If you're just tuning in, Zach Gomez not playing tonight at quarterback. Talking to Coach before the game, Coach Adami Jr. said he is unable to make the game tonight. So ball is kicked off. Short kick will be recovered about the 38-yard line by the Tigers. There's a flag on the field. Good field position, and one of the Tigers is down right now. Remember earlier in the game, very early in the game, we saw going down on the field on the opening kickoff, David Gobayan.
Yeah.
And now we have another player down on a special teams play, on a kickoff, just like earlier.
You know, though, it's tough when you're on a kickoff. You know, you're thinking that you're going to be blocking. It's a squib or it's a pooch kick, and you have to adjust. And things happen. I mean, your body's going one way, and your mind's thinking another thing, and it doesn't help that somebody's going to be plowing into you in a few seconds.
No. By the way, one of the players that's impressed me tonight for Nicky Rowe, Freddie Ayala,
yeah.
Freddie Ayala. He last week had a touchdown. He had 2 catches for 33 yards and a touchdown. So was kind of impressive last week. We talked about Burnell. He has been called by their offensive coordinator, Adrian Burnell, is their utility guy. Now, I want you to tell me, Jake, if you think this later after watching Burnell for a while. They say he is their Wes Welker. And we know Wes Welker for a long time being with teams like the Patriots.
Just a reminder.
All right.
Join us at the 8th annual Texas Street
Player coming off now under his own power.
It looks like it's Roger Adame III.
Okay. Thank goodness he's coming off under his own power. So Roger Adame III was shaken up on that play, but again coming off on his own power. And there was a penalty on the kickoff, maybe offsides against Nicky Rowe. Ball will be moved back 5 yards. They will now kick it off from their 35-yard line. 8:17 remaining here in the first quarter. Rowe just got on the board with a field goal, and they lead the Mercedes Tigers 3-0. Also this year, Nicky Rowe, besides having a new head coach, new offensive coordinator, they have a new defensive coordinator as well. We'll talk about that. Rowe will kick the ball off. Ball will come down around the 25-yard line. And coming over to the right sideline is the return man, gets knocked down at about the 35-yard line.
Yeah, they look like Mark Ledesma, number 3.
Right.
Nice return by number 10 for the Tigers.
Oh, no.
Matthew Ledesma.
Yeah.
Remember, they are brothers, twins. So
yeah, it's going to be a Ledesma. There's about a 3 out of 4 chance right there, 75% chance that you're going to see a Ledesma
right,
with the ball.
because you got Fabian Ledesma, the running back, and then Matthew and Mark, the twins. This time Mark at quarterback in this game, but Matthew still playing wide receiver.
If it's not them, it's Joe Garcia. So
he had the 1 touchdown last week, 10-yard reception. First down and 10 at the 45-yard line for Mercedes. As we mentioned, Mark Ledesma at quarterback rolls to his right, finds a receiver open, and gets the ball down to about the 40-yard line.
And that's going to go to his brother, number 10.
Matthew Ledesma, pick up of 15 on that play. So that's going to be a first down and 10 for Mercedes. We'll see if they can at least get it in field goal range this time. Clock moving, 7:54 remaining here in the first half. Spread formation, one back in the backfield. Ball dropped off, and this time It's going to be about a 7 or 8 yard gain down the right side. And it looks like it's Urbina this time with the catch.
Reception by number 88 for the Tiger offense.
That's right.
Second down, 2nd and 3.
Richard Urbina gets a 7 yard gain on the right side. So it's going to be 2nd down and 3 at the 33 yard line. Trips left. Ball handed off on the left side to Fabian Ledesma. And Ledesma will get the first down, and he's going to be knocked down at about the 27 yard line. So he's going to gain about 6 on that play. And it is a first down. But there is a flag on the field. So hold on just a minute. Whoa, everybody. Let's see what this piece of laundry happens to be thrown down for. Penalties, as we all know, can really stop drives. Just like there's a lot of juniors on Mercedes, last year there were 12 sophomores on the Nicky Rowe roster.
Mercedes is backing up right now, like it's against them, but we'll have to see right now. I saw the referee point at the defense, so no, it's going to be holding on the offense.
All right, so 5 yard loss. By the way, we mentioned Zach Gomez is not playing tonight. If you'd like to know, last week he completed 8 out of 11 passes for 90 yards. Completed over 72% of his passes, averaged over 11 yards per throw, had a long pass of 41 yards to tonight's quarterback, Mark Ledesma, on the scoring drive. Mark had a couple key pass receptions on that drive, and then eventually the touchdown pass to Joe Garcia back in the 3rd quarter last week against Cal Allen. But again, Zach Gomez not playing tonight, and it is Mark Ledesma at quarterback. So we have trips on the right side. 1 receiver left, spread formation, 1 back in the backfield. Very seldom will you ever see the quarterback at Mercedes line up under center. Very rare. Though we saw a couple I formations last week. Ledesma Mark rolls right, and he finds his receiver open near the 30-yard line. Looks like it's good enough for a first down. Nice pass on that play. And it is a first down. And looks like it was Matthew Ledesma on the pass reception.
It'll be 1st and 10.
1st and 10, ball at the 29-yard line.
And, you know, you got to like it. You get him out running where he's comfortable, and he can bootleg it out, and then they run a drag route right to him, and it's his brother. So, you know, it's going to feel comfortable him throwing that. They've been doing it all their life.
Trips left once again. Dropping back, Mark Ledesma looks in the end zone, and ball tipped away at the very last second. My gosh, it was Carlos Salazar with a touchdown-saving tip right at the goal line. Nice play by the defensive back that time. Looked like it could have been a touchdown, but it was for naught. And I believe it may have been Urbina on the play.
By number 20 for the Warriors.
Urbina, I believe, was the intended receiver. 2nd down and 10 at the 29. Tigers in Rowe territory. Pressure on the quarterback. Ball dropped off. Little screen, and then going up the sideline and going in for the touchdown. Tigers! 29-yard touchdown. Amazing run. A lot of athletic ability.
Yeah, incredible run by catch and run by Ledesma.
All right. Matthew Ledesma on the play.
No, was it Fabian, wasn't it?
Oh, Fabian? All right, well, let's.
I believe so. We'll check out the replay just a
Okay.
second. I'll set it up after this.
So it was a 29-yard touchdown reception. We're going to look at the replay in a second. Extra point attempt coming up. And again, we think it was Fabian Ledesma on it. And the extra point attempt is blocked. Flags on the field.
That'll be costing the offense 5 yards.
It'll be 5-yard penalty against the offense. Extra point attempt.
Yeah, it's Fabian.
Okay, Fabian.
Extra point will be from the 8.
So Fabian on the 29-yard reception for the touchdown, making it 6-3 in favor of the Tigers. Procedural call against the Tigers. Makes the extra point attempt coming from the 15. It's up, and it's good.
Extra point is good.
So the extra point attempt is good.
Visiting
And now it is 7-3, the lead for the Tigers.
Yeah, and we'll take a look right here on our replay. You won't be able to see this if you're watching on our website right now, but later on you will.
Tigers in Rowe territory.
Here it is, Scott, right here. You'll see a little bubble
Pressure
screen.
on the quarterback.
Right? Or
Ball dropped off.
Not a bubble screen.
Little screen, and then going up the sideline and going in for the touchdown. Tigers! 29-yard touchdown. Athletic ability. He told me he wants to run for 1,000 yards this season. He says, you know, my name may not be Trevor Spates, but I can get some big yards. So the extra point attempt was good, and I was trying to see who did the extra point attempt. Again, the numbers are a little difficult out here to see, but we'll try to get back on that if we can.
Yeah.
6:24 remaining. First half. 7-3 is the score.
Back D, 14.
And the ball will be kicked off from the 40-yard line. And the return will go to about the 27.
The return to the 26-yard line.
No Ramirez on the return.
27. It'll be first and 10 from the 27.
First and 10 from the 27. And it looked like to me, I'm still trying to figure out who did the extra point because I have a couple guys that do it. It looked like it might have been Ledesma, Mark Ledesma.
That's talent right there.
But I'll have to double check. I'm trying to see. Again, with the black numbers on the orange uniforms, it's sometimes tough to see. So we're doing the best we can. First and 10 at the 27-yard line. Jesus Sanchez has a back in motion toward the right. A lot of misdirection. This time, ball goes up ahead to Garcia, and he'll get over to the 32-yard line.
32 on the carry for the
Hector Ramirez was in motion that time, left to right.
And if you're Rowe right now, you don't want to give the ball back to Mercedes right now when they're hot. They came down there, they had a nice drive. Even with penalties, they still were able to capitalize and get a touchdown. You don't want to give Mercedes the ball back this quick. You want to try to get down there, give them the ball with at least 2 minutes if you can't score.
So it was Rydell Garcia on the run, 5 yards on the play. Second down and 5 from the 32. 5:39 remaining here in the opening half, and there is a whistle.
Delay of game,
Delay
it looks like
game.
on the defense.
Yes.
Or on the offense, excuse me.
Offense, yeah. So that'll move the ball back to the 27-yard line, and that's going to make it second down and 10. Ball moved back to the original line of scrimmage. Good crowd out here for both teams. Rowe travels well. Motion now to the left side. Sanchez will throw it a little screen to the right. And the ball will be up near the first down marker. Pickup of about 10 on that play.
Yardage appears to be good for a first down for the Warriors.
And it looks like it is a first down. Pass was to Adrian Burnell. We told you he was the utility player in motion a lot. A kind of Wes Welker type player. Had 8 catches last week. So it'll be first and 10 at the 38 after a pickup of 11 on that last play. Ball up the middle. Do you like all the misdirection, the motion? Quarterback running toward the left side, hands it off. Do you like all the misdirection they use?
Yeah, a lot of teams use it now. You see Weslaco using the slot T, which the slot T is just misdirection all over the place. Misdirection is going to find you those lanes that you really practice, and I think you'll see it capitalize in this game at least once.
Garcia, no gain on that play. Second down and 10. This time Garcia is fake the handoff. Sanchez will keep it, but he is knocked down back around the 34-yard line. Loss on that play.
And you see it right there. When you run those trick plays or those misdirection plays, when your quarterback rolls out, he's rolling to his blind side right there. He didn't see it coming.
3rd and 16 at the 33. Clock running. Approaching the 4-minute mark.
And Rowe is starting to use the clock. They're going to try to milk this clock.
Trips on the left side. Sanchez dumps it off near the line of scrimmage, and the ball will go up for about 4 or 5 yards. Receiver Hector Ramirez. 4th and 12 coming up.
And Mercedes is going to have about 3 minutes and 20 seconds by the time they get the ball. Plenty of time right now to come down and get another score.
A little short of the original line of scrimmage. It's going to be 4th and 11 from the 37. Sanchez getting ready to punt. 2 backs going back to receive the ball. Both bands here tonight going to perform at halftime. And Sanchez decides to keep it, fakes it, and he's going to get the first down over midfield. He is tripped up right near midfield, and he ran for about 15 yards on that fake punt attempt.
And that's a gutsy play right there. If you don't get that, Mercedes is in great field position, and they turn around and run it. A great fake.
Clock running. 3:15 remaining. Rowe has 2 timeouts remaining, and the Tigers have 3. Motion left to right. Tight formation that time. Not a lot of wideouts. And a false start against the offense. So ball will go back over midfield, and it's going to be at the 48-yard line of Rowe. They moving from our right to left. They have basically their green uniform pants, white uniforms with green numerals. Their basic colors are gold and green. Back in motion, left to right. Ball will be handed to Garcia up the middle. Not much going. It was Angel Rodriguez, the man in motion that time. So it's going to be a gain of maybe 1. And again, not much gain at all. So we are going to have second. Well, let me wait and see to make sure we've got the markers right here. I believe it was Smith in on the tackle. And there is a whistle blown. Timeout on the field. So we have second down and 13. 2:13 remaining here in the first half. Now, Coach Reyes, of course, was the former coach here, and he was actually reassigned after last season, former coach at Nicky Rowe. He posted a 26-35 record over 6 seasons, including making the playoffs twice. The team last year went 3-6 and 2-4 in the district, and now we're glad to see that Coach Reyes is the offensive coordinator at Rio Grande City.
And actually, prior to being at Nicky Rowe, he was the offensive coordinator here back when
really?
With Albert Chavez. They had a great offense back then, as well as they do now. But Albert Chavez, one of the Mercedes Tigers that will go down in lore here. Just a tremendous quarterback, about 6'2", 6'3", could run like the wind. Great arm.
All right, so now second down 13, ball at the 48-yard line for Rowe. Sanchez back to pass, feels pressure, tries to dump it off around the 50, but had a couple of backs coming up after him. And a lot of pressure. It's going to be 3rd and 13 coming up.
Brings up third down, 3rd and 13.
Again, Tigers seeing if they can get the ball back one more time. Do you play it safe here, or what would you do if you're Nicky Rowe? Well, it looks like they got the wideouts there. They've got 2 on each side. Back in motion toward the right, so they'll have 3 receivers on the right side now. Sanchez feeling the heat, gets away from a couple tacklers. Looked like he was going to be down at the 38, and the 3rd one finally gets him. So it was a sack that time for the Tigers.
Yeah, just great defense by Mercedes. They had at least 3 guys get their hands on him before somebody took him down, but no room for him to throw the ball.
That's right. So a nice play. And I'll tell you what, they just put on the pressure there. It was one of the linebackers, I know that. It's 4th down and 13 coming up. Ball at the 48-yard line. 3 timeouts for the Tigers if they want to use them. Timeout has been called.
And slowly but surely, the Tigers' defense has really started to play well, just like they did last week. They haven't had to be on the field as much, so it's actually helped them out.
Yeah, that first drive last week in the heat. I even talked to Coach Adami about that. Did that wear the team out a little bit? He didn't give me a direct answer, obviously, but I think he said it didn't actually do the team a lot of good either.
Well, I might be right. The first team to go to the half is McAllen Memorial in Westlaco East.
Okay, there's a 10-yard penalty against the defense.
Ooh.
Third down. Third down and short now. So it'll be third down and 3. 1:53 remaining, first half. Clock is stopped. And Garcia gets the ball again. And he is going to be very close to the first down. But he is spun around and tackled. And we'll see if they give him
they're going to
forward
give it
progress. Are they?
About half a yard
Ball at the 37
past the
yard
sticks, and Nicky Rowe moved those chains.
line. Initial contact number 9 for the Tiger defense. The yardage is
Yeah,
good
I
for
believe it was Raul Arteaga on the.
Yep. And Eric
on the
Reynosa.
tackle. Yeah.
So the ball will be first and 10. And a little dump off pass on the left side. And it's going to be a big run. It could go all the way, and it does. 37-yard touchdown pass. But there is a flag.
And there was a great block. There was a great block right at the end of that play to free him up. Looked like he was going to get caught about the 5-yard line.
It was Freddie Ayala, we talked about. Good player. Tight end.
We'll have to see what the play.
Yeah.
The play is on.
Initially a 37-yard touchdown.
The penalty looks like it's on Mercedes. They're pointing at Mercedes.
All right.
But the offense is moving back, so.
We'll wait and see on this. Ayala, of course, one of the players we thought could be pretty good. A tight end, did have a touchdown last week. By the way, on special teams last week, Nicky Rowe did have a touchdown. Hector Ramirez returned a kick return 75 yards. So it is a penalty against
Nicky Rowe.
Nicky Rowe, yeah.
Saves a touchdown.
penalty negate.
Was it a legal receiver downfield?
First down. First and 15.
We'll have to get some
Nevertheless,
clarification at halftime.
yeah. Nevertheless, it is a 5-yard penalty. Moves the ball back to the 42-yard line, first and 15, and negates this 37-yard touchdown reception by Ayala. Just ran down the near sideline, left sideline, and outran everybody after a great block, as Jake said.
And those are those blocks that you just don't want it to go to waste.
Mm-hmm. So Mercedes last week only gave up 7 points in the first half against Cal Allen. This week only 3. We'll see if they can keep it that way. Ball tried to be thrown up the middle by Sanchez, incomplete. Good coverage there by the backs and linebackers of Mercedes. Second down and 15 coming up. Again, 1:23 remaining here.
Number 33 on the pass defense.
Yeah, and it didn't look like Freddie Ayala for Nicky Rowe knew that the ball was going to be coming to him.
Down, second and 15.
He looked back and it was behind him.
Ball at the 42-yard line.
On the defense,
It was Sergio Zavala.
and this time the ball will go over the left side.
On the stop.
And we'll have to see right now if Coach Adame takes his timeouts. He's got 3 timeouts
Right.
left.
13.
It was Garcia. Not much going there. Only got 2 yards off the left side. Third and 13.
That was number 4 and number 9. With the defense.
Ball around the 40-yard line. And it was Sebastian De Leon and also Herrick Enosa on that tackle. So third and 13 at the 40, and there is a flag prior to the snap. Offsides on the defense. So that will help the offense this time.
Yeah, he enticed the lineman to move right there, coming across into the neutral zone.
That will make it third down and 8. Ball will be at the 35-yard line. Again, 48 seconds remaining.
And a defensive penalty stops the clock, so we're stuck right now at 48 seconds left. And Nicky Rowe only has 1 timeout left.
So we'll see if another big defensive stand is in the offing for Mercedes. They had a couple big ones last week, even in the loss. Jesus Sanchez looking downfield, and the ball is up in the air. Looks like two players fighting for it, and there is a flag. There's going to be some sort of interference about the 3-yard line. Whether it will be defensive or offensive, we'll have to wait and see. It was kind of a jump ball, Jake.
It was, but the corner never looked back for the ball. He played the receiver's eyes, but he never looked back for the ball. They're going to give you that call, but it looks like Coach Adame is saying he just went straight up.
That's what Coach Adame is saying?
It looks like it, right? He's got his hand straight up. So is his DC.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're discussing it right now. And it will be against the defender. So it will move the ball. So it's going to be first. Okay. It appears that linebacker Brian Smith was called for the penalty. So it'll be 1st and 10. Ball at the 20-yard line. Going back is Sanchez again. Looks down the right side. Good defense over there right at the end zone. And the pass is incomplete. 2nd down and 10. Good job by the defender. One-on-one coverage over there. Defender up to the task. Same area last week where the penalty came against the Tigers as they almost were ready to score, almost in the same spot inside the 1-yard line. But this time a good defensive play. Sanchez back to pass. Will drop it off and goes to Garcia out of the backfield. He is going to get down near the 15-yard line.
And Garcia does a great job getting out of bounds.
Yes. Looked like Eric Hernosa and Brian Smith in on the tackle. Hernosa, a linebacker, as well as Smith. And by the way, last week, Smith had 9 solo tackles, 3 assisted for 12. And Hernosa also had 9 solo tackles and 3 assisted for a total of 12. So both had even figures. This time the ball will go down to the left side, and it's a catch for a touchdown, 15-yard touchdown reception.
Pass thrown and caught in the end zone by number 88.
And the pass that time caught in the end zone. And the receiver, Freddie Ayala. So Freddie fought that defender and got it. You got to give Freddie a lot of credit on that play.
Yeah, you know, he really contorted his body just right, just to get his hands stretched out right above the defender and pulled it in. The defender just had no play on it.
15-yard touchdown. Kick is up by Sanchez. It's good. And with 12 seconds remaining here in the first half, it is now Rowe moving ahead 10-7. Ayala had a touchdown reception last week and gets one again. So we knew that Rowe could score some points. We just didn't know exactly how good their offense would be against this strong Mercedes defense. Now, there's not much time left. Jake,
12 seconds left.
You try to do something if you don't get good field position, or you just go to the, especially with a backup quarterback in.
I think right now, you know, you're content at being down 3 points. You know, you played some great defense. They came up with some great catches on this play. Great play calls to keep the drive going with that fake punt. And I think you kind of, you know, lick your chops in the second half because you played a decent first half with a quarterback that you didn't really plan to be your quarterback this year. No,
not at all. Oscar Torres, by the way, is a defensive coordinator. Now, he coached Far at one time. Are you familiar with Bruce Bush?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
at Far North. Yeah,
that's
master of the slot T.
Okay, so Torres one time was a coach over there. He's now the defensive coordinator this year, and he's going to use multiple schemes as the defensive coordinator for Rowe. His offense is more an attacking style than falling back and waiting for the play to develop. So a little bit about the new defensive coordinator at Nicky Rowe, if you are interested in that. Sanchez kicking the ball off again. Short kick will be brought down at the 38-yard line with 12 seconds remaining. So now it's at your own 38. What do you say now, Jake?
I think you can you're looking at, you got 3 timeouts right now. You're possibly going to be able to use 2 of those timeouts if you run the right plays, if they're quick. But I wouldn't do anything too gimmicky here. Last thing you want to do is fumble here and give them a chance.
But you're the man who loves trickery. You told me that last week.
I do. But I also like being conservative when you have to be conservative.
I understand. Because the game is really close. You don't want to do anything stupid and then really be behind the 8 ball to begin the second half.
And that's really how Nicky Rowe won last week against Edinburgh, took advantage of some miscues.
Trips right. Mark Ledesma, the quarterback, drops it off on the left side, a little screen, and it's going to be good for a first down and more. It's going to get about 15 or 16 yards at least on that play.
And a smart play, too, because he gets out just at the right time. 4 seconds left in the game. They've got enough for a long pass here. And they'll call a timeout.
And I believe it was his brother that caught it. It's hard to see on the far side. But second down and actually first down at the 47, first down and 10 in the territory of Nicky Rowe. Tigers moving from our left to right.
Like to thank the second quarter sponsor and all sponsors. Second quarter sponsor, Economic Development of Mercedes.
So with the timeout, we'll see if they're thinking of some kind of Hail Mary or something like that. By the way, we're talking about Torres at Nicky Rowe, since their defense is out there right now. He also believes in discipline, utilizes speed in the secondary, and does not want to give up the big play. So that's what he doesn't want to do right now. Make sure his players are disciplined enough not to give up that big play on the final play unless there's a penalty of the first half. Again, Mercedes having to move 47 yards to get a touchdown. They trail by 3, 10-7. Freddie Ayala, just moments ago, 15-yard touchdown reception for Nicky Rowe. Slots, actually trips right, I should say. And looking downfield is Ledesma. Ledesma throws it up near the goal line, and it's intercepted. Intercepted and will be brought back out to about the 25-yard line, and that will be the end of the half. So the half ends on an interception. But those are one of those interceptions where you're just kind of winging it out there. You might not normally throw that pass in a normal situation. So that is the first turnover of the season for Mercedes. But maybe, Jake, we should put an asterisk next to it. Now, there is a flag on the play, so this may not be the final play of the first half. We'll have to wait and see. If it is, Rowe will go in with a 10-7 lead. But we'll have to see what the call is. It's going to be against Nicky Rowe. Block in the back against Nicky Rowe.
Penalty will be declined, and they'll.
Miguel Macias, a defensive tackle, was called with the penalty, and that will end the half. So 10-7, Nicky Rowe, who's 1-0 on the season with a win over Edinburgh last week. Cal Allen 0-1, and so far, Nicky Rowe got out early. 8:18 remaining in the first quarter on a Jesus Sanchez 13-yard field goal. But then Freddie Ledesma comes back in the second quarter. A 29-yard run. Nice little pass to the back, coming out of the backfield, and scores. And then a few moments ago, Freddie Ayala had a 15-yard touchdown pass. And if I recall, in the second quarter, Jake, I believe earlier in the quarter, Ayala had about a 37-yard touchdown pass called back by a penalty.
Yeah, with a great block at the end. Yeah. But all in all, great game. We've seen 2 really close games here in Mercedes.
That's right.
I think this one's going to be a little bit different.
Right. And I do want to mention for some of the Rowe fans listening tonight, a lot of people that may not have heard many of the games this year might wonder where defensive back Richard Sanders is. He played last year. Well, his family moved to Michigan in the summer, so he's no longer with the squad. And Roman Villarreal, he missed the last 5 games last year due to an injury, a torn ligament in his foot, and he's an outside linebacker. And unfortunately, right now, he's out with an ankle injury, maybe out for a couple more weeks.
Oh, wow.
So some people looking for him might wonder where he's been. And Rowe, by the way, last year we were talking about how they were such and throwing team. Another problem they had, not that the throwing was a problem, but I'm just saying that was one of the things they were known for last year. One of the other things Rowe was known for last year was bad luck on defense. There were some games where Rowe was up to, or let me say this again, there were some games last year Rowe was without up to 4 defensive starters due to injuries. So injuries plays a key. So one of the reasons they had a losing record last year was because of a lot of injuries on defense.
Yeah.
We do want to say that to some of our Rowe fans that are listening out there tonight. And so far, you should be proud of your team. Mercedes fans should be proud of your team. Both teams playing very well. We're going to get ready for halftime. Jake, before we go to halftime, we'll take a break for a few minutes and then get back with the second half. Any of your thoughts about the first half of play?
I thought Mercedes did well with the new quarterback in right now. They found a little bit of their moxie, but I also thought that Nicky Rowe did a good job of keeping them off the field in the half. And you saw it right there. I mean, Nicky Rowe was able to punch it in or to score on that great Freddie Ayala pass.
All right, again, we are at halftime, and the score is the visitors, Nicky Rowe, the Warriors, leading the Mercedes Tigers here at Tiger Stadium 10-7. For Jake Berry, I'm Scott Harrison. Stick around. We'll be back with second half action coming up in just a moment.